Hi, everybody. So good to see all
Hello.
of you.
Hello. Hi,
Yeah,
Nick.
great. We're
Hi.
chatting across the world. So let's just quickly start by everyone just say your name and where you're calling from. So I'm Nick with Social Distancing Festival here in Toronto. Tadhi?
I am from Dar es Salaam, at the Alawi, Tanzania.
I'm Barbara Johnston, and I'm also in Toronto.
I'm Suzy Wilde. I'm also in Toronto.
And I'm Anika Johnson, also in Toronto, co-creator of the song Wild Heart with Barb and Suzy that Tadhi has created a dance film in collaboration with us.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, in this day and age, it feels like even though four of us are in the same city, we might as well be as far apart as Tanzania at this point. We're all kind of just as close right now. Regardless, very cool to all get together to talk about this project with the long distance art series. So Tadhi, I'm going to start with you. I just want to ask you what the experience was like to get the message, asking if you wanted to take part in this project and collaborate with these three great musicians.
Well, on my side, it was something that it was new project, I can say. I haven't done this before. This is, to connect to art, which is music and dance. And honestly, I am not really good in dance with the song, which is recorded. Normally I use with the sound. So I transform my movement by sounds. So for this project, for me, it was more in challenge. When you send me a message, I was like, oh, what kind of music is going to be? I was just trying to find just try to meditate what kind of that music, because I want to get music that has even touching me, touch me in other way. So I had a project, not like this. The last project was, one art, which is dance and dance. So from here in Tanzania, we are creating traditional dance, and then we send it to UK dancers. Then UK dancers, they send back to, their own dances as well. So for this one, it was, of course, honestly, it was different. And I was curious to see how that music can be connected with me, because I am not really into the music a lot, I like to listen to the music, but when I create something about my art, I would like to use the sound, or to use just my body with the flow, with the nature, something like this.
Yeah, and your ability to just use that ambient sound and communicate with your body, that's definitely something that really stood out to me with your first piece that you submitted to the site, which I have to say is one of the most viewed pieces on our entire site. And I will honestly say one of my absolute favorite pieces that we have.
Oh.
So it was like a no-brainer to ask you to be a part of this project. I know all of us are humongous fans of your dance. Barb, I'll ask you next. You get a message saying, hey, here's an artist I'm really wanting to work with in this project. I think it would be a good fit with you. When you first went and saw Tadhi's work, thinking about your own art, your own music, what kind of thoughts did you have about this collaboration?
Well, frankly, I was sort of surprised. I was floored at what an obvious collaboration it would be. Like, I have, and Suzy, Anika, and I, in various combinations, have written music and had it put to dance in a sort of similar style to Tadhi's, because we've worked a lot through Wexford, which is the high school, the performing arts high school. And I sort of cut my teeth, because I also do choreography, on creating, taking a song that Suzy had written and trying to put it and bringing it to a dancer to interpret. I've always, unlike Tadhi, I love when a dancer creates choreography around a pop song that is not maybe established yet. And I've liked it since I was 18. And so when I saw this video of Tadhi, and Nick, you said, I have a dancer for you. I couldn't believe that it was Tadhi because it felt so natural. Like it felt like, yeah, of course. Even though he was in Tanzania, like I felt like I knew him. And he reminded me of so many dancers I worked with in Toronto, and but different, but also something in like maybe the heart connection, or like the way that Tadhi moved and the specificity of the movement. And I just knew that the one thought was like, oh my God, this is going to be so much work. What are we going to do? But once I got over that, I was very excited. And it just felt like pretty much right away, it felt like, I don't know, like Nick, you were Yenta, and this was like the best match make ever. Aside from
if only it could work for my personal life. But
right.
That's a whole other story. Yeah, and you know, it was such a natural fit because there's something about the way all four of you artists talk about the human experience in your different art forms that your work communicates so much, and so much that people really quickly relate to. Anika, can you talk a bit about what the song's about?
Yeah, so the song that we worked with is called Wild Heart, and we actually originally wrote it a few years ago to be part of a song cycle that we put up in the Toronto Fringe Festival called The Fence. And it was a song that had started with Barb, and then we all developed it together. We had all gone through a big change in our lives in some way or other in the past year. I think actually we all like went through a huge breakup the year before and had lived through the transformation that occurs when that happens, when everything falls away and you rediscover yourself through the pain of change. And we had put it in this song cycle and then kind of set it aside for a while because we didn't really know what we were supposed to do with it. And then when we first saw Tadhi's work, Barb was like, what if we brought back Wild Heart? And it was like just like a gut instinct that immediately felt right. And just as an experiment, we set the song alongside some of his choreography that already existed, just to see what it felt like to see him move with our music. And it was so exciting instantly, like we were like weeping tears of excitement almost. And the song is really just about two people in a relationship, which doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it's two people who are realizing that their paths might take different directions, but it's sort of blessing that separation because it's about, you know, following your wild heart, rediscovering your true self, and daring to see where that takes you, and lovingly letting the other person do the same thing.
Gorgeous. And Suzy, I'm going to get to you in a sec, but first I just want to go back to you, Tadhi, and just ask, like, when you first heard the song, I've heard, you know, it really spoke to you. What is it about the song that you felt spoke to you so much?
Yeah, Anika sent me the different description of how to, I mean, he explained what that song means. And from those sentences that I've read, and it was only one sentence that has touched me in my personal relationship. So I'm now in my distance relationship, which is now I have so many challenges into this life that we have now. And I've seen that there's so many things, there's so many ways that we plan together, and I feel it's not going to be there. Somehow it's, you know, it's kind of, if you try to grab it, but in somehow you feel like, anyway, I just let it go, you know, I just breathe, let it go. But you don't need this. You don't need this happen, you know, you don't feel to this happen, you know what I mean? You wish you could do this, but you can't. So so in the part of the song, it says that it's the way of sadness that you realize that you can't keep a promise, even though you wish you could. So it was the sentence, that short one, but it was boom. It was touch me, you know. It was completely drive me to my girlfriend. I was just meditating deep of my relationship. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I mean, it was really surprised that just only these sentences. I feel like, okay, I have a reason of make my choreography through through this music, because has touched my personal relationship. You know what I mean? Even though, like Suzy, they don't really know where I'm actually, my lifestyle. They have no idea, you know. But certainly, and this one comes up and shows like there is hundred of people lives the same feelings, you know, the
Yeah.
same life that other people lives. Like, I didn't know that this song is this song was made 2 years back, as Suzy said, but has touched me today. You know what I mean? So my choreography can also touch the other people, like 100 people, when they see this part. You know, the challenges that always lives in this world as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for this sentence was like, wow, man, I don't want to step back. I want to do it. And it was even the choreography, I wasn't really putting a lot of effort, you know. So many things comes up, you know, because the feeling that I put it with this music, it shows me direction of where I need to do, what I need to what I need to choreography. So it's amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what makes art such a magical thing, is sometimes one sentence can unify people from all different places, walks of life, age, experience, everything. And that's like so magical. So part of this whole process is not just about the generation of new work, but also about like a collaborative process. And that right now, because of distance being what it is, you know, why not open up those doors and collaborate with people everywhere? So Suzy, I know that you practice a lot of different types of music, and you know, you work in a lot of different styles. You're currently in a process here in Toronto that you got match made on a new musical project. What to you is important about collaboration, and is collaboration different when it's all online, digitally communicating, or are some of the important fundamentals the exact same?
I mean, yeah, it's interesting. This time has opened up so many new possibilities in a strange way. Um, uh, I've been able to connect with people, you know, in other countries, and I attended a meeting in New York the other day, and I would never have been able to do that before, even though now we're realizing that these kinds of collaborations are, of course, totally possible. Um, so yeah, the nature of collaborating is obviously evolving, and I'm really curious to see what's going to happen after all of this. Um, but I feel like there's something about being home and collaborating with people at the same time that feels grounded, and it's like there's like a slowness and an ease to it that kind of um, allows for something, I don't know, natural and uh, very instinctive to come through. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think about other collaborative processes I've been a part of where your meetings also need travel time built in. And so suddenly that 1 hour to get together and work turns into 3 hours of your day, and it becomes much more insurmountable, you know? Whereas maybe right now we have a bit more luxury of time to pop into a quick meeting, talk for a bit, and pop out. Which,
I know for me, like my days are really different right now too, as I'm sure it's exactly the same for a lot of people in the arts. Like usually I'll spend some of my day writing and creating something, and then I'll go off and teach music lessons for like 4 hours and then come back to it. So there's definitely like this like flow that I've never had before because there's less interruption. So that's been an interesting new thing here.
well, yeah, it seems to me that whatever it is worked really, really well in this case. So I hope that, you know, the spirit of this type of collaboration can continue even past the time when we're able to congregate again. And you know, I hope that these collaborations lead to the live presentation of this type of work as well as the digital ones. Anyway, I just want to say thank you so much to the four of you. I mean, like, this is our first round of doing this. There was really nothing to indicate it would go well. And you all said yes really quickly. And the work is like really, really profoundly good. And so I'm just so thankful to all of you for doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. We want to
Thank you
also
so
add,
much.
For teaching us new things we didn't even know about our song and about our work. It's been a very inspiring experience. So thank you for throwing yourself in.
and we also just want to give a big thank you to all the other people who have helped us. I know that Tadhi has some collaborators, the cameraman and, you know, additional people on his crew. And we have a great producer, two great producers who are working with us. So we're really grateful to all of those people for pulling together.
And for the opportunity to, you know, we wrote this song 2 years ago, and revisiting it, we've re-recorded everything and we changed a couple of lyrics, and this song has always just been in sort of the ether, like just on hold. And we've always said, I've always thought this should be, this, it has been choreographed before, but I wanted to expand Wild Heart into like an hour-long piece and address certain feelings of all of the stuff that's in it. And it's very cool. It's very cool to trust in not knowing something and then have it come to fruition in this way. Like, I always knew in my heart that Wild Heart belonged somewhere, but I didn't know where. And then when Tadhi came into our lives and Nick made this connection, it just like, boom, it's like, oh, that's where it lives. It lives in this place that where we have to think, where we have to find our wild heart when we're confined physically. But that doesn't confine that. And like, so this cross the world connection with music like this, with a new collaborator that's been so effortless, with much effort, but effortless in the way that Tadhi said, not like trying to work. It's just like boom, poo, poo. And like, anyway, I just wanted to add that in, that to revisit a piece of work, redo it, have it live in this way is the perfect home for this song.
Yeah.
And it couldn't be happier. Like, there could be no, I could never imagine, obviously, that this would be where this song would end up.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it has.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's I'm so happy because honestly, in this creation, I can say something. I spent 3 days of making this video possible. So I have to thank the team that I had worked with, because they were very, very humble, listen to me what I want to, because it was they have an idea. They're very good in film, but they don't know what I want. So it was giving the idea that I want to have space where I can run. You know, I would like to have some places to go somewhere. And that moment, the rain was there. So it was like, okay, now we don't have to go there and we have to stop. So they were really flexible to listen and I was direct them how to. So I was feeling like, for this vibe makes everything possible, you know, for these people that I work with, they listen to me, you know, I feel like a kind of spiritual that attached to everyone, you know, making us together. I feel like we are going to make this possible, you know, even though they've never, they haven't talked to Anika, Barbara, or Suzy. You know, they don't know. They just know me. They will just say, "Oh, we are going to make for one day." You know what I mean? Everything for one day, because I have to pay them. But they didn't see like that. They were like, "Oh, tell us, Tadhi, what's your plan?" So my plan, I want to do this here, this here. So I felt so flexible with them. I absolutely feel amazing with them. Yeah, I'm so happy.
Sometimes the spirits of the arts just come together and things just gel.
Exactly.
And it's so possible with people you've never met before. I mean, God, sometimes they don't come together with people you work with all the time, you know? And so it's just, it's just the right time, the right people, the right circumstance. So anyway, thank you all so much. I have a feeling people are going to love your work, and I could talk to you all forever, but let's wrap it up now. Thank you, and see you later.
Thanks,
Thank
Nick.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.